Hey guys, it's Dave. Welcome back. Well, we've been working in Stagecast Creator, their evaluation version, to create a little game to show you what this software is capable of doing. And I want to put the finishing touches on this game, and I believe that we could make this our very last episode for this little project. Well, we called it Click Space Game, and there's really only two more things that we need to add to kind of polish this game off a little bit. The game now plays fully. I hit this play button, and all these characters start flying around in outer space. Some of these characters, like this little blue guy, are aliens that are trying to come to Earth and destroy us. Other characters, like this comet and this little space eel, are just members of outer space that are flying around. Our goal is to rid space of the aliens, of which there are 10. We need to try to do that without damaging ourselves, which would cause strikes. So it's a click game where you just click around and hope to get the alien. So let's see if I can't grab a blue one here. Let's see if I can get... I am not a fast action game person, so it's not real easy for me. Come on. Well, luckily I haven't hit a bad guy yet. I gotta go ahead. There we go. See? Count 9, one blue alien down. And then how long will it take me to get the other blue alien? Oop, I gotta be careful because I got a strike. Alright, come on, blue alien. Where are you? Here you are. There you go. Oh, no, he's still there. Come here, you. Oh, he's going to be a toughie, aren't you? There he goes. See? Down to 8. No more blue aliens anywhere. But look, I have to be careful. 2 strikes. I hit one more bad thing. I'm just going to start clicking around and let's see what happens. This is why we put this in. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. Wow, am I looking out? I haven't hit a bad thing yet. Come on. Come on, what is it going to be? Ooh, I'm down to 4 aliens. Ooh, I might win this game. Come on. Get these eels. Oh! You lose. You lose. Well, here's the problem. Win or lose, this happens. And the game stops. See, they're not moving anymore. If I hit play again, that's a problem. You see? The only way to really do it is to come up to this menu and go reset. All right, so we kind of want to clean that up a little bit. All right. Well, to get this last episode underway, the first thing I want to do is I want to come back into this info character, and I want to make a slight change to both the win and the lose. So I'm going to come in here to win, and we'll zoom out so we can see the whole thing. What I want to do is add a little bit more to the bottom of this graphic. We'll give the message that you've won or you lost, but then right down here we want to have a little button that the user could click on to actually play the game again. And you're going to see a couple of tricks today. So the first thing we'll do, and we'll try to have a little bit of fun with this, is we'll make a button. And I think what we'll do is maybe give it a green shadow. And I'm just going to work down here and then we can move it into place. I want to get away from rectangles again. So maybe what we'll do is try to do an oval. So I first want to start by making a circle. And then I can use my select tool to copy this circle. And I'm going to use the keyboard this time. Control C followed by Control V. Places a copy right on top of the original. And I'll put this one over here too, and I'm just kind of eyeball. It looks like it's touching the top line over there, like that. And then I'm going to switch over to the straight line tool, and hoping that nope, that didn't work. Control Z is undo, just like this button here. I want to, nope, that still isn't it. I want to get, come on now. There we go. And I'm right on the line, so there we go. If it looks like it disappears, it's dead on. You see how all these squares went white? That's because there is a pixel in that square. These are gray because there isn't. So if I try it down here, nope, wrong direction. Let's see. Oh, this is... Nah, I can do better. Come on. No, I can do better. All right, that's not too bad. Let's see if I can straighten it out. No, I can still do better. Boy. Get on there, dude. Come on. Well, I guess that's all right. Let's see. Nah, we're going to still... You know what? Maybe we'll zoom in a little bit. Uh-oh. Come on. Yeah, we'll zoom in a little bit. I'll go back to the line tool so that we can get a little closer. Nope, still got to be... Oh, there we go. All right, that'll work. And, oh, bummer. Come on. If I can get it anchored correctly. Oh, yeah, that's good. Then, while I'm holding the mouse down, oh, this doesn't want to do it. Oh, that's weird. I discovered a little while ago that if you point at one of these buttons while you're dragging, it'll let you move, but it doesn't look like it wants to. So I'll have to let go and then hope that I can find the same line again. Nope. Come on. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Then I'll switch back to a tool that's easier to use. There it goes. Okay. So here we've got one shape, and I want to make this the shadow. I can't use black because our background is black. So now what we'll do is we'll copy this, and again I use the keyboard. Control C, Control V. Here's another one. This guy I want to change to a lighter color of green, like that. And then we will copy it again. Not copy it, I'm sorry. We'll select it, and this time we can move it and just kind of place it on top of the shadow color. See that? Okay, it's a little easier with this because it's straight lines, but when we're dealing with curves, that's a neat way to do it. And then the last thing is to move this into position. We want it to kind of be under this. You see that? And then we need to give it some words. And I think we could get away with maybe size 14. Let's see. Yeah, that, well, what's higher than 14? 18? Let's try 18, but let's go one step further and tell it we want it to be bold. Whoops, whoops. Let's see. Oh yeah, that'll work. And then again, let's put it down here. Play again. And this is just a trick to make it easier to line stuff up. Okay, as long as you draw it down here, you're on that transparent background, so that when you move it into place, you can see the background. And then it'll be very easy for us to just kind of eyeball center this. You see that? Okay, so that looks good. Now the last thing I want to do is copy the finished button. I'm just going to do a Control C so that I can come over to this graphic. I want to say yes, I want to update it to a Control V. There we go. And again, it's going to ask me, do I want to update it? What this message is saying is we've already written rules that utilize this character. And the rule we made might rely on the size of the character in order to do what it's got to do. All we're doing is displaying it on the screen, so we don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to say update. Okay, so now both of these have a way to say if you won or lose, or whether you want to play the game again. Okay, so I'm going to go back to count. We'll get out of here. So now we're ready. So now the game will be won or the game will be lost, and that graphic will get displayed. So now we need a rule that says if that graphic is on the screen and you click it, you should play it again. Okay, but remember, we've already got 8 rules, which means we've only got 2 rules left. So I'm going to need to come back in here and make another change. Just like we saw with did you win, did you lose, it's looking to make sure it's a particular appearance. We want to see if it's one of these 2 appearances, or else we would need 1 rule for this one and 1 rule for this one, which again we could do, but then we wouldn't have any more rules. I want to make it so that we can do this entire thing with 1 rule. So I'm looking at the naming that we used, and I'm not seeing similarities. So I'm going to make a slight change to our names. I'm going to call this winner, and I'm going to call this loser. Okay, kind of means the same thing. But the reason I'm doing this is because both of these words end with the letters ER. You see that? Count and strikes do not. So there's a neat way that I'll be able to say if it's either of these 2 character appearances, but not these 2. You see? And we'll see that right now. All right. So I'm just going to use this one. So I'm going to say rule tool. No, actually I can't. It's got to be the other one. And so what I'll do is I'll move it up here. I'll switch it over. And what I want to do is be very careful. I want to make sure that when I make this rule, I place it somewhere where there are no aliens or space entities behind it. Okay? And we'll talk about that in a minute. So here's our big graphic, okay? And then we're going to do a trick. It makes it look like you click here, but we're actually going to code it so that you could click anywhere. Yeah, no, you know what? We will. We'll go one step further. Yeah, no, we'll make it so the only place you can click is right here. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. So here's what we'll do. It's got to be one of these. It doesn't matter if it's you lose or you win, okay? So I'm going to make a rule on this character. And then the last thing I said is make sure you place it where there's none of these. Move them out of the way if you have to, but find an empty space so there's nothing behind this character, okay? All right, then we'll come in. All right, now I'm going to make some changes to this window. This is a pretty big graphic, so I'm going to make this window much larger so that we can see what's going on. All right, I'll even open up this left-hand side. Okay, so first let's give it a name. Play again. All right, so here's what's going on. I had said a bit ago that you want to place this on the screen where there are no other characters. That's because when you win or lose the game, this graphic or the you win graphic is going to get displayed in the middle of the screen. There may or may not be one of these moving characters behind it. We will never really know if, when, or what is positioned behind this graphic. So we need to learn a new tool. On the left-hand side, the and if side, you get these tools. And we've made use of at least this one. Well, today we're going to make use of this one. It says the don't care what else tool. I just call it the don't care tool. And basically the way it works is you click it and you apply it to one or more squares in this left-hand picture. And what I want to do is I'm going to use that trick where I click and hold down and slowly drag across every square on this graphic. So basically what this test is saying is that if you are this character and there's either nothing behind you or anything behind you, continue with the rule. You see that? So that way when we win or lose, if there happens to be an alien sitting right here, and a comet sitting right behind the O, it won't matter, you see? If I place this on something when I made this rule, then it's locking like this little spacio. Let's say the spacio is down one. Then the rule would actually be saying that spacio would have to be right behind the graphic in order for the rule to work, you see, and then it wouldn't work half the time, okay? All right, so that's the first step, that do not care rule. All right, now here's the second step. Look at this. It's saying if your appearance is loser, which it should be, but it might also be winner. So if I drop this menu down, look at these other options. Contains, does not contain, is contained in, and then you got these last two. Starts with, ends with. I'm going to say ends with. And then I'm going to make use of that little blue tool, the little X, and delete the picture. And this is something that I didn't know about until a couple months ago. You click in this box, you can actually type stuff. I thought it had to be a picture. I'm going to put in ER. Okay, there's no ER in this graphic. The ER is from the name of the appearance. So it's basically saying if your appearance name, really, see here, loser, ends with ER, you see? So that way it could be the loser graphic or the winner graphic, okay? And then the last thing we have to do is tell it that something needs to be clicked. Now my original thinking was that they could click anywhere on this graphic and play the game again. But that's not really intuitive. We made this little button make it look like there was a button. And if you take a look at the grid behind it, the button really doesn't sit in this square, it doesn't sit in this square, and it definitely doesn't sit in the 4 rows above it. It's really just these squares right here. So what I'm going to do is go up to that mouse tool, and like I said, we've used this before, but this time we're going to use it to do multiple squares. I'm going to point right in this square, hold my mouse down, and you see that little image at the bottom? As I start dragging across, watch the red. You see that? I'll let go. Okay. Now, what this doesn't mean is that you have to click in every one of these squares. It's basically saying, did you click the mouse on one of those squares? You see that? So I could click up here and nothing would happen. I could click here and nothing would happen. I would have to click here. Okay? All right, let's go over to the right-hand side. And all I need to do on this side is do what we had to do over here. Just like we saw in that other rule, if I click stop, it puts stop in here. Well, watch. I could open this menu and look, not much of it is turned on. I could say reset. Reset world. I'm going to hit done. Okay? All right, so now let's run a test. We'll put that back to count. We'll put this down here. If I double click this, you'll notice we made it using you lose. So let's run a little test. First we'll save it. Then we'll open up global and we'll get it so it's real easy to win this game. Let's say there's only one alien left. So if I can click one alien, I'll win the game. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see. Let's try one of these purple guys. Come on, purple. Come on. You can hear my mouse. There we go. Okay. So the game, the game stopped. Okay, wait a minute. We're going to reset it. We got a problem. Let's set it up to make it easy. And we got a problem. We're going to double click on this. In order for this rule to work, the sim has to still be running. But one of the things we added to these two rules was stop the sim. But now we have this rule, which means we don't want it to stop. So I'm going to go into these rules. See this stop? That's got to get deleted. It's under the actions. I'm going to say edit. I'll use my blue X. I'll click stop. That was did we lose. I'll hit done. Let's try did we win. There's stop again. edit, hit the X, delete it. All right. Now, I'll close that window. I actually have to go back to 10 so that I can properly save it. Where is it? Save sim. Okay, now for testing purposes, I'll take it back to 1. All right, let's try that again. Where is our space eel? Here it is. Come on. Ooh. Oh, that was weird. Aha, perfect. Okay, now look at this. This is kind of cool. You win, play again. Look, the stuff is still moving. Do you notice this guy is not moving? That's because he's blocked in by this guy. And who knows, there might be another guy behind here. You see that? All right. Notice when I click here, nothing happens. You see that? If I click play again, we're back to 10. This is the 0. It's a brand new game. You see that? Let's hit stop. Let's give the other scenario. 2 strikes. All right, let's see if we can hit a bad guy that we don't want to hit, like an asteroid. Come on, where's my... I just want to get something. Come on. When you want to lose. Come on, son. I am so bad at this. There we go. You lose. And look at this. There's one here. There's one here. There's one here. This guy just moved into place and now he's blocked so he can't move. You see? All right, let's see if it works. Count 10, strike 0. 10 and 0. Very good. You see that? All right, so far that's good. Let me do a quick check to make sure we got enough time. Okay, we're about 22 minutes, so maybe we can do this and we'll make it a slightly longer episode. We'll see. We're down to one more rule left. One more rule. Well, let's look at this. I'm going to move global down here. There's another drawer up here called stages. We used this way back in our first video when we changed the color of the stage. Now I actually want to make another stage. So I'm going to say new. And before I do anything with this new stage, I'm going to rename. We're going to say, we're going to call this game. And then we're going to call this new stage title. Okay. And then what I would like to try to do is to create a title screen that has a button that we need to click in order to come to this screen. And what I think we could do is rename one of these blue aliens. So I double click the blue alien. These are the aliens rules. But this is character 111, 1-11. This guy is 1-3. I want to give him a better name that's a little easier to do. And I'm just going to call him title. Okay, you'll never know he's called title. This is just totally internal. He's the only character on the screen called title. Okay? All right, I'm going to hide him. Remember, it's this guy. Title. Okay? Then what I need to do is get this guy onto the other stage. I want to move him. So I'm going to move him over here, and you'll see why in a sec. Excuse me. On the stages window, you have 2 buttons here. You're in this button, which means you can see one stage. If I click this button, you can have the ability to see 2 stages at once. So I'm going to grab this new title stage and put it in over here. And then I'm going to grab this guy that's called title and move him over here. Okay? All right, then I'm going to take title again and put it over here. Because when I go back to single stage, it always keeps the one that's over here. So I'm going to go back to single. So now we've got this brand new stage. Okay? So let's do a couple things. Let's double click on title and let's make its background color the same black. All right? But this time, now we have some fun. All right, this guy here, I'm just going to put down here out of the way for a minute. There should be a title screen. So we should do a couple of things. We should give it a big title on the screen, maybe give it some instructions, and then a button that the people would click to jump from this screen into our game. All right, well, let's look at what our options are.